The Blade of the Poisoner by Douglas Hill, adapted by Wally K. Daly. Part 1.
I was in Wellwood when the terrible thing happened. So being in Wellwood, I didn't see the soldiers enter the village of my people.
Everybody, out of your huts! And into the square! Now!
And I didn't see the butchery that soon followed. But always in my mind's eye, I picture it, knowing that I couldn't possibly make it worse than it really was. No, I was in Wellwood when it started, hunting bushy-tailed animals with a pretend wooden spear. Little knowing that even though only 12, soon I would be fighting for my life with any weapon that came to hand. I am Jarral. This is my story.
Roll up, roll up. See the most amazing show in the city of Gigante. Carver, man of many blades. Watch him, the most death-defying juggler in the world. Watch as he juggles with every size and shape of razor, sharp knife and sword, risking death with every toss into the air. For he juggles blindfold. Ladies and gentlemen, roll up, roll up. See Carver, man of many blades.
Hey, that's not a bad trick, that son. How do you reckon he does that if he can't see to catch the hilt?
You said it, soldier. It's a trick, and a bad trick at that. He leaves a space to see through the thong of leather he ties round his eye. The man's a charlatan.
Here, hang on, Sarge. Some crumpet coming on stage.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, Carver will perform as no other knife man in the world would dare perform. He will throw these weapons at a living target. Myself, Dorina, while he is still blindfolded.
But I was in Wellwood and didn't hear at first. Just went on playing. Until...
What was that? The village? It's coming from the village. Must get back to the track. Go home, see what's going on. Round the bend ahead, and then just another mile or so. So be there. No, a giant figure running along the path towards me, carrying a giant bow. It's my friend, the huntress. I'm safe. Archer, what's happening?
Oh, horrible things, Jarral. Things I can hardly make myself speak about. You are young, but you must be brave. What I must tell you is the worst thing you've known in your life. Your village has been destroyed.
No!
Yes, everyone is dead except you.
My guardians!
Everyone. The cottages, the barns, the fields, the gardens, all has been crushed and burned. There's nothing left.
Who did it, Archer? Why would anyone do that?
I do not know why, but I do know that Prince Mephtik did it, or ordered it to be done by his soldiers or his creatures.
Prince Mephtik?
He who is called the Poisoner, ruler of all these lands, this whole eastern domain.
Why would a prince destroy a village and kill everyone? What did we do?
I do not know, Jarral. Who can read the mind of such a man? He is the Poisoner, a man of terrible cruelty and evil.
What's going to happen to me?
You will come with me. We've been friends many years now. You're an orphan like I am, so I always thought of you as kin.
Oh, Archer, my poor guardians. They were always so good to me.
We cannot mourn properly now. The Poisoner's servants are still in Wellwood. They'll be hunting for any who ran to the forest. We must get away swiftly.
Can we go and look at the village first?
No. There is nothing left to see except horror. Remember it as you last saw it. Be still.
What? What?
Soldiers there.
Do the soldiers wear green?
Everybody connected with Mephtik wears green. It is the colour that marks. Listen. There is something besides soldiers on that ridge, Jarral.
What are those creatures?
We must run as fast as we can. You must keep going, deep into the forest without looking back. No matter what I do or what you hear, keep running until you can run no more. And then walk or crawl if you must, but do not stop. Do you understand, Jarral? If you value your life, do not stop.
That's a little close for comfort, Carver.
Have I ever harmed you yet? Your body's just about marked out on the board now. A short sword to rest above your head. Then 2 throwing knives, one on either side of your throat, should finish the pattern nicely. Throw! And the show is ended!
You're right, Sarge. It's a trick. It must be a trick. Fakery!
This is a trick, Dolt, and we'll prove it to these clowns before he's done.
Yeah.
Ran out of blades, blind man. We'll take this one.
Cover! He's thrown his knife at your back.
Not to worry, Dorina.
You swayed and avoided it without turning. How did you see it, Cover? How did you see it?
No time for chat. I must return the sergeant's knife. Here, Sergeant, have it back. Your needs are greater than mine.
It's headed straight for us!
Get back!
Archer! Archer! Where are you? She's gone. Must keep running. Oh no! A soldier on a horseback coming up behind. That's Archer's bow. Ah! She got him.
It's me. It's me. Do not slow down, Jarral. The danger is great.
I've got to stop Archer. My lungs are burning.
You can't stop. You're running for your life. Run!
Something close behind Archer.
Keep running. I'll fire off a shot.
She didn't hit it. Whatever it is, she didn't hit it. Impossible. She never misses. You missed, Archer.
Yes. Strange. Still, it fled from the path behind us into the forest. That'll slow it down a little. Keep running, round the bend and then onwards. No, stop, Jarral. Our path is blocked.
A barrier across the path. Sticky and shining. Eyes the trees. What is it?
It's a web, Jarral. But not any ordinary web. Strong enough to hold a man in its grip.
But what creature could have made such a massive thing?
Hold it there, the two of you. We've been expecting you. As you see, 20 of us, our crossbows point steady at your hearts. If you're ready to die, make a move. And now our little friends come to join us.
They're spiders, Archer. Giant black spiders.
Quite right, young boy. Bigger than a fighting dog and twice as vicious. One move and I set them on you.
Now to get rid of this damn strip of leather from my eyes. That's better.
You took a great risk with the soldiers, Carver.
They took the risk, Dorina.
They're soldiers of the poisoner, and you've made enemies of them.
I've made worse enemies.
I don't doubt that. Carver, won't you tell me, how do you do it? I know it's a real blindfold, and that sergeant's knife was thrown at your back.
I told you, Dorina. I have a trick for seeing past the blindfold. But it's my stage secret. Look, go finish clearing the stage. Oh, so many things she doesn't know. Doesn't know the secret of my wooden staff that stands over there in the corner. And if she saw me rest fingers on my eyeballs like this, saw me remove my fingers along with the 2 glass pieces that are now resting on the fingertips, saw that on the glass was drawn pupils and iris, perfect painted imitation eyes, and then finally saw what had been hidden behind the glass imitations, 2 shiny black dead eyeballs staring from their sockets. Not a pretty sight for a young woman who thinks she's in love. The mirror on the wall behind me. Flickering flames appearing in it. The flames forming into words. Seek Archer in the Wellwood. Save the boy. So what problem has Archer got herself into this time, that she cannot save the boy herself? Oh, good old Cryl and his messages in the mirror. Wouldn't bother to mention where to find this Wellwood, or why Archer can't save this unnamed boy herself. Oh, dear. My leaving so suddenly will of course make Dorina unhappy. For about a day and a half.
All right, blind man. You're gonna learn you can't make a fool out of me.
You're doing that all by yourself, Sergeant.
Well, what say I cut your offensive head off of that juggler?
You can but try. Meanwhile, let's even it up a little bit. Get rid of these soldiers of yours with a well-aimed kick or two.
Bang bad mistake to turn your back on a man with a sword.
Are you sure?
He stuck me, Sergeant! He ducked! Oh, no!
And now, Sergeant, I will show you a secret that few see. I will show you the secret of my staff here in the corner. One twist of the head, and there you have it. A curved sword fit to match the best. Now, your soldiers being out of action, face me man to man.
Carver?
Your eyes.
What about his eyes? Oh.
I've heard of one like you. A warrior of great skill whose dead black eyes can see beyond them before. All around and in every direction.
You've heard that, have you?
Men say he may be a demon or a talent. They say his true name rises from the blade he wields. Scythe, they call him. Scythe the blind man. Scythe the seer.
You shouldn't worry about names too much. Or swords that curve like this one does.
No. I'm getting out of here! Sergeant!
Dorina, I must be on my way.
Your eyes, shiny black, empty. They look.
Oh, well, perhaps it's for the best. I hate long goodbyes.
What can we do, Archer?
For the moment, nothing. At a guess they await their master.
All hail Prince Mephtik.
Hail Prince Mephtik.
Oh no, it's the poisoner himself.
An excellent hunt. How amusing to see again that frightened beasts will flee blindly into well-set traps. She has not been disarmed.
No, Highness, your pardon. You, get her weapons.
Very good, sir. Throw down your bow and the knife at your belt.
And if I don't?
At this range, a bolt from my crossbow will go straight through you.
True.
Very sensible.
Nor has she been bound.
Your pardon, Highness. Being a giantess...
It seems I must do these things myself. Talpo!
The spider approached at his bidding, his hand, making passes over it.
Bind her tight!
Watch out, Archer! It's going to wrap you in the cord spewing from its belly.
Too late! It's round me! I can't break it!
Excellent! A most gratifying day. All shall be rewarded. Now, giantess, stop your futile struggling against the binding and explain your presence here.
We are but innocent wayfarers, Prince Mephtik.
Innocent you probably never were. And certainly not now you have slain one of my men. Your arrows fly too far and too true for those of a mere wayfarer. I am quite sure I know what you and the whelp are, and I will soon have it confirmed by my master. The boy, I believe, is a survivor from that wretched village, and you, giantess, are almost certainly an agent of that fool of a wizard, Cryl Tabetang, who foolishly dreams of opposing my master.
Whatever I may be, Prince, the boy is of no importance.
A person of your size and strength, giantess, will provide a valuable subject on whom I can test some of my newer venoms.
I have no fear of dying, no matter how soon it must be, but the boy...
Soon? Oh, no. I can guarantee you many weeks of unbridled torment before I finally put an end to you. As for the whelp, he is simply a piece of unfinished business, but it would be a pity to finish it too soon.
You've already killed everybody but him from his village. Why continue the slaughter?
His pathetic village was erased far too quickly to provide much amusement. Perhaps the boy should be honored through being shown the way to death by my favorite plaything.
Mephtik, you cannot.
Again, you tell me what I can and cannot do.
He's a child. Use your vile blade on me if it must be
I
used.
have told you of my plans for you, outlaw. But the boy...
He crossed to stand in front of me, looking at me cruelly for long moments without speaking. Then he slowly drew his sword from its sheath. The sword had emeralds embedded in its hilt, and the blade of the sword was stained a livid, sickly green, even lighter and uglier than the uniforms of his soldiers. All the while Archer grovelled at his feet, begging that he should spare me.
No,
For her to do that, I knew, meant I was indeed in great danger.
Don't do it, Mephtik. In the name of all that's holy, don't do it.
Well, boy, how do you like the look of the blade of the poisoner? Ready to feel its killing kiss?
Where's he gone?
Got to be some kind of devil spawn, eyes like that. Oh, got to be no kind of human.
I'm human.
Oh,
If I'm cut, I bleed. But you two together will never be good enough to find that out for yourselves.
Oh, no.
No, you have nothing to fear. I might have killed your sergeant had he stayed to fight, but I don't kill those who are unarmed or unmanned by fear, as you two are. So, my glass eye coverings are both smashed beyond redemption. So now, a cloak and a leather thong to hide the sockets, and you see, I am a blind beggar again. Sword back in its scabbard, knives in their holster at the back of my neck. And now, soldiers, I shall be on my way. I don't suppose that either of you knows a place called Wellwood.
Wellwood, sir. Big forest eastways, beyond the far barrens. You follow the Bloodvein River, past a big waterfall called the Chime, sir.
Good. I know the barrens.
The Prince Mephtik, he's travelling out that way to go hunting.
Hunting. Now I understand. I know what happens when the poisoner hunts, and how he treats those he captures.
Take hold of her. Come on. Let me tell you about my toy, little boy.
I don't want to hear about it. I just want your soldiers to leave Archer alone.
You will hear whether you wish to or not. It is a gift from my master, a magical sword. People call it the Tainted Blade, but I prefer another name. I call it the Blade of Lingering Death. Lingering, boy. Note that.
No, don't touch me with it.
You're wise to pull your cheek out of reach of it. A mere scratch from this blade is fatal, but not at once. In fact, not until the next full turning of the moon. And then the person with the scratch falls dead, as if stabbed to the heart. Do you understand? No ill effects at all until the moon completes its changes.
No, keep it away from my face.
But during the time before the moon changes, the wounded person sees his death drawing closer, reaching for him in every moment. For all those days he feels terror and despair, waiting for the moon to complete its changes. He is dying in his mind, all that time, dying in every moment of every day. Here is your honor, boy. Last night the moon was full. 4 weeks hence another full moon will rise, though you will not see it. By then you will be in my throne room to provide my entertainment, but you will not enjoy it, for that full moonrise will be the last moment of your life. Take my mark, boy, and begin your month of dying.
No!
As ever, Hob, my old friend, you've got us here in splendid time. No, that's all right. You don't have to thank me. Ah, that's it, Hob, the waterfall known as the Chime to our left. Well on track for Wellwood. We'll camp here tonight and take our bearings. Here, not so fast with the welcome, Hob. May not be a friend. I see now. Going into the forest. Not wearing green, so at least it's not a soldier of the poisoner. Hey up, Hob. Let's go and see who travels the road with us. Now they are wearing green. Come on, Hob. Pathway's getting crowded. Down the ridge, Hob, and head for the trees. We've been spotted, Hob! Okay, Hob. Away you run and make yourself scarce. Catch up with you soon. Now, into the bushes. See how keen they are to find me.
Well, she's in here somewhere. I saw her clear.
Keep looking here, Kevin.
She? Surely even soldiers couldn't mistake a blind beggar man in a cloak for a woman. Someone crawling toward me from behind. Ah, young woman, so that's who they're searching for. Slim, blonde, pretty. And pretty superior by the looks of her. Fine clothes and leading a fine white horse with a good saddle. Stop where you are, girl.
How did you see me? Your eyes are covered.
The question is why you're creeping up behind me.
I didn't even see you there. I was watching for the soldiers.
Then what is a little rich girl doing out here alone, hiding from the soldiers?
You will not speak to me so. I am the Lady Mandragorina, daughter of Lord Felly of Fellyhale, who is warden of the northern area.
If you say so, the question still stands. Why are you here?
I was sent to this road to wait for someone. A blind man who sees more fully than men with eyes. You cover your eyes, yet you seem to see me behind you.
By any chance, were you sent by one who wears only blue, has a very good opinion of himself, and likes speaking in riddles?
Oh, yes, that's Cryl.
Yes, Cryl Tor Tabatang, sorcerer, outlaw, humorist, collector of talents, who could never do anything as simple as telling you my name.
Still, I suppose there can be no other blind man with vision like you. It is a true talent.
Yes, I can see all around me, above and below at once, but with part of my mind, not my eyes. Look.
The Grim Reaper.
Why did you say that?
An image came to my mind of a figure in a hooded cloak bearing a scythe.
I've had many names in many places, but most often, by those who know me, I'm called Scythe. Because like the figure in your image, I've harvested a number of lives from the camp of the enemy. And it is your talent, then, that brought you to Cryl? Reaching into the minds of others?
In a way, but getting images from others' minds happens only with some difficulty. My main talent...
Shh! The soldiers return. Back into the bushes.
No need.
What?
Where is your horse?
I sent him on. The green ones would find a cat in these woods more easily than Hob when he's hiding. But with you and your mare, we have little chance of staying out of sight.
You are wrong. With me, there is every chance.
My throwing knives will even the numbers a little. Wait here.
No, we both stay here. Just stand still and don't make a sound.
We will be seen and taken captive.
Watch.
He was a madman. He'd ripped my garment and left me bare-chested. Then he went to carve me with the sword, his eyes gleaming with the pleasure of it, a touch of saliva at the corner of his mouth, when suddenly he had been stopped. No matter how hard he tried to cut me with the sword, it wouldn't move. I saw Archer was sitting on the ground, her eyes tight closed, her face strained, and I realized this was somehow of her doing. Suddenly the sword started curving round in Mephtik's hand. Instead of my chest, it was heading for Mephtik's throat.
It's a talent! Stop her! Stop her! She's turning the blade on me! Knock her unconscious! Quickly! Knock her unconscious, you idiot! Clap her down! The sword is going to cut me!
But they'll...
I tell you, I'm sure they must be here somewhere. I heard voices.
I don't believe it. They're near enough to touch. They must be blind.
Quiet.
You're dreaming, soldier. There's no one to be seen anywhere.
Just go back and join the others.
Oh, shut it. There's no need for that. There's no female company around for you, lad.
I guess you're both right. Nothing.
Aye.
They must have ridden out on the far side. Let's go.
Well, that was well done, whatever it was.
My main talent is making people see things or not. They looked at us and saw 3 small bushes.
Their horses seemed troubled.
The horses saw what the men saw, but they could smell us, especially Pearl, my mare. We must have seemed very strange bushes to them.
Then my thanks, and my apologies for not paying attention at first. A pleasure to meet you, my lady Mandragorina.
My friends call me Mandra.
Mandra it is, and I'm Scythe. And here comes my faithful hob. Not as lovely as your Pearl, but he has surprised many men and outrun many horses. In times past, he's been my only friend.
Your only friend? What about Cryl?
I owe the wizard much, of course. When I was a stripling of about your age, 15?
14 and a half.
Near enough. Cryl plucked me from poverty, found a teacher to give me warrior skills, developed my talent when it showed itself. But I don't think of him as a friend. I'm simply in his service, doing his bidding against the enemy. As I'm doing now, riding to the Wellwood.
Cryl mentioned that name, the Wellwood, when he sent me here.
You seem very young to be sent on a mission. With Mephtik abroad, the risk could be great.
I'm not afraid. Besides, Cryl said that my talent would be needed beyond the Wellwood.
Interesting.
But who is Archer? And this boy who must be saved?
Archer is another of Kryl's collection of talents. As for the boy, the wizard told me nothing. No doubt we'll learn more when we find Archer, who is probably well in control of the situation by now.
That's it, sire. No fight left in her.
Good. Now, I will proceed with the boy.
You're a beast! Have your men strike down a defenseless woman, Mephtik?
No, do not fire at him. That is much too pleasant an end. Don't you understand, little boy? There is no escape for you or her. Now begins your death, which will end finally when next the moon is full. One scratch will do. But for your impertinence, you may have the honor of my signature on your chest. The letter M. A straight line down. A line coming sideways from the top of the first. A line going up from the end of that line. And another straight line down to finish. See, a perfect bloody letter M on your chest. And so begins your journey to your death, little boy.
Look! The leaves and twigs in the path ahead are being twirled by the wind.
And the wind, no doubt, being twirled by Cryl.
You think?
Oh, yes. A message is surely on its way. Wait till they all fall, you'll see.
You're right. Make haste. The poisoner is in the Wellwood. The blade has been used on the boy. What does it mean? What blade?
The blade of the poisoner. And if it has indeed been used, in 4 weeks' time the boy will die in agony.
In part 1 of The Blade of the Poisoner, adapted by Wally K. Daly from the book by Douglas Hill, you heard James Holland as Jarral the boy, Eric Allen as Jarral the man, Elizabeth Bell as Archer, Ben Onwukwe as Carver, Adjoa Ando as Dorina, Susan Sheridan as Mandra, Nigel Carrington, Charles Millam and Neil Roberts as soldiers, and Hugh Dixon as Prince Mephtik. Special effects were by Dick Mills and music by Peter Howell of the BBC Radiophonic Workshop. The director was Peter Fozzard. The Blade of the Poisoner by Douglas Hill, adapted by Wally K. Daly. Part 2.
After cutting the letter M on my chest with the tainted blade, Prince Mephtik went back into the forest with some of the soldiers, leaving Archer, the giant bowwoman, and me to be guarded by the remainder. We were taken to their camp in a clearing and chained so we couldn't escape. From where I sat on the ground, I could see the moon through the trees. It was just a thin sliver, and I knew that in 4 weeks' time, when it was full, the cut that now burned my chest would finish its work, and I would drop down dead. The thought went endlessly round and round in my head, a truth I couldn't escape. In 1 month I was to die.
Jarral.
Yes?
Things are not as bad as they seem. Someone will come for us. Just as I was sent to your aid, others will be sent to ours.
What does it matter? I'm gonna die in 4 weeks.
No, there is one who can save you. One who has great powers, who will know how to heal the wound of the blade. You mustn't despair.
You're just saying that to make me feel better.
I'm saying it because it is true. Though certainly it makes me feel better knowing it.
Who can help?
A wizard called Cryl. My master. He's a man of great power and goodness. He's devoted his life to a struggle against the evil that overwhelms this world we live in.
You mean Prince Mephtik?
The poisoner is only one of a number of evil little rulers throughout the world. They themselves are ruled by another, the evil master. Those who know and fear him have their own name for him. We call him the demon driver.
I never knew any of this. And then I think what was done to me. Done to my village.
You must be strong, Jarral. You've lived in a child's innocence in the sheltering Wellwood, but now there is no more shelter. You must leave this forest, just as you must leave innocence.
I'm only a child.
Then you must grow up quickly. You've shown strength already. Many in your position might have been driven mad, but now you must show more strength and courage. Be sure you will not be alone. Others will come.
You said you were sent to help me. Why?
The wizard whom I serve sends me where he wills, does not always give his reasons.
That's Cryl?
Yes. I know he keeps watch when he can on events throughout the world. Perhaps he knew that the poisoner was ordered to destroy your village.
But why was the village destroyed in the first place? Why did everyone have to die?
I'm not certain, Jarral. But at times the demon driver has ordered such horrors so as to destroy someone who might come to oppose him. Meanwhile, Cryl strives to maintain a fighting force of people like myself. Equally, the enemy strives to find and destroy us.
Are those other people giants like you?
No. They're like me only because they too have been born with what we call talents. These are very rare and special mental powers. Remember when Mephtik first tried to cut you and couldn't?
Yes.
It's a talent! Stop her! Stop her! She's turning the blade on me! Knock her unconscious! Quickly! Knock her unconscious, you idiot! Clap her down! The sword is going to cut me!
You used magic to stop the sword cutting me.
No, I used my talent. True magic is only possessed by very rare individuals like Cryl and operates in a different way, whereas talent is the ability of making things work by the mind alone. My talent is the ability to move and control objects simply with mental powers. That's why I can direct my arrows to their targets.
And that's how you controlled Mephtik's sword blade.
Exactly. If they hadn't knocked me out, I would have succeeded in cutting him.
Can't you use your talent to free us now?
I could unfasten our chains with my talent, but it would not help me to face 6 armed soldiers bare-handed.
But you think this Cryl will send other people with talents to help us?
Without a doubt. Cryl's powers allow him to watch events and sometimes foresee them anywhere in the world. He will know of our situation. He might even come himself, though that would be a great risk for him. The enemy seeks tirelessly to find and destroy him.
Is Cryl as powerful as the enemy?
Probably not. But if he can gather enough talents to aid him... Wait.
Ah! Oh no! Soldiers! I must get away!
Oh, let's go and catch her. We'll get a chance like this every day of the week.
Is that a woman?
No idea. Never seen her before in my life.
So beautiful. Lovely long black hair. Will she be safe?
I think she'll be safe enough. By the sounds of it, the help I said would be coming has arrived.
The soldier's coming back. He has a knife in his back.
Now I understand, if I'm not very much mistaken.
A beggar man in a cloak also coming out of the forest.
Archer.
Scythe, I wondered if it would be you. Was that one of your girlfriends on the horse?
A girl, yes, and a friend, yes, but not what you think. Come, Mandra.
It's not the same woman, Archer. She's just a girl. And she's blonde. It was a woman in scarlet on the horse.
I imagine all will be explained.
This is Lady Mandragorina of Felly Hale, whose friends call her Mandra. and who can make people see whatever she chooses. Their mothers, their wives, or even raven-haired runaways in scarlet gowns on black horses to tempt soldiers into traps. Quite a useful little talent. My lady Mandragorina, this is archer, warrior, and bowwoman of many talents.
Not so many she can avoid being captured, it seems.
Forgive us for not standing, my lady. A moment while I remove these chains.
They broke and fell away without you touching them. How did you do that?
Practice. The same goes for floating bow and arrows and hunting knife to my hand without touching them. Stand, Jarral. Try to flex your legs, get them moving again.
Scythe said you were tall, but...
But?
You're tall. And this will be the mysterious boy we were sent to save.
Correct.
Does he always let his mouth hang open in that unsightly way?
It's sad that your ladyship's talents do not include good manners.
Nice to see you all becoming such good friends.
This is my good friend Jarral.
Hi.
This is Scythe. He can see without eyes. Show him what you make do with for eyes, Scythe.
A pleasure.
They're just black and lifeless.
I see in a different way from normal people. Now we should move, before Mephtik comes to join the party.
He's elsewhere in the forest, seeking other survivors from the village.
We had a message that the blade had been used.
It has. Open your shirt, Jarral.
Signed with the tainted blade. How long do we have?
4 weeks, till the full moon.
Does it hurt?
Just cold and numb, like frostbite.
4 weeks is time enough. We can get him to Cryl, or get him somewhere safe where Cryl can come to us.
Let's collect some supplies and be on our way.
Look, I don't understand why we're doing this.
To save Jarral's life, why else?
Oh, of course, but Prince Mephtik must kill people all the time, and Cryl doesn't always send his talents to help. Why has he done so now?
Must be the lad's important, which likely means a talent. So he's probably the one who Mephtik was aiming to kill when he wiped out the village.
It must be so.
And Cryl must also have become aware of the young boy's growing talent and sent you to help.
But I'm no talent. I haven't got any kind of power or anything.
You wouldn't know. Talents don't start to show until the age of 13 or so. Cryl can explain it all when we get to him, while he's fixing the wound. Hush!
What is it? One of Mephtik's monstrous spiders.
Spiders?
Giant spiders. One of the 7 black widows who obey his command.
I saw one earlier today, shot at it, but missed. How would you explain that, Scythe?
Those things can sense a missile coming at them. At the last second, they leap aside.
Is that so? Then perhaps there is a way.
Oh, it must mean that the poisoner is coming back.
More likely the creature's ranging on its own. Mephtik often lets them roam free, and it's fast enough to cover a huge area.
Oh, wonderful. What other facts can you terrify us with?
Many. The venom of the widows will kill anything. Their jaws are like shears. They can outrun any horse. They can climb anything.
Enough. Let us ride. Oh, I'd pay a good price for a brushwood torch.
If it was just the widow, I'd agree, for the monsters fear fire. But Mephtik may be near enough to see a torch in the forest. I don't need light to see. I'll lead. Just let your horses follow Hob. Whoa, Hob!
What is it, Scythe?
I've lost track of the sound of the spider. Wait here. I'll go back into the trees a little way to see what's to see. Make sure we're not being followed. Wait here, Hob.
Archer, are these widow monsters supernatural?
No. They're natural creatures that have been enlarged by magic, Jarral, not created by magic. So they can be slain by human weapons.
Those that hit their target, that is.
Archer never missed before.
Keep your voices down, or Mephtik won't miss us either.
Anything?
Nothing unusual. But the thing is out there somewhere. The whole forest has gone as still as death.
It was the same after the village was destroyed.
Let's keep moving.
We rode on through the dark of the forest, and every inch of the way my back crawled at the thought of a giant spider on our trail. At least when we could hear them, we knew they were far away, but when they were silent... I remembered the look of them, bigger than fighting dogs, their jaws always on the move, teeth like cutting saws, legs that could outrun a horse. So I kept thinking with terror of one creeping up from behind. But it wasn't. It was waiting silently in a tree above my head. As the horse fell dead, I fell off, and the spider skittered to where I was standing, ready to get me as well. Its fangs were dripping, and its bulging eyes held me in their gaze, all ready to leap. Suddenly I felt a red-hot band of fear in my mind, a feeling I'd never known before, and as the spider leapt, flames shot out of the ground between us. As the spider leapt back, both archer and scythe fired their weapons in unison, and with a squeal, the creature dropped dead.
It did not dodge that arrow.
No, my blade. We were too close and it was focused on the fire.
So, Jarral is a talent after all.
Seems he is. Anything like this happened before, Jarral?
No.
His talent's just starting to show.
But what talent?
Making fire leap from the ground without even thinking about it.
Oh, he's barely old enough.
That's so. And no doubt it only showed itself now because he was terrified. You'll never have felt such fear in that quiet little village, I imagine.
I want to be back there. I want to wake up and find this is all a nightmare.
I'm afraid that's not possible.
'Tis a nightmare, all right, but a wide-awake one.
The talent explains Cryl's interest in the lad. A firebrand is quite a power. When he learns to control it, he'll be one of Cryl's most valuable weapons.
Once Cryl deals with the wound, that is.
What's happening?
When you see a hazy figure dressed in blue, materializing just above your head, plump, balding, and with fingers flashing with sapphires, that can only mean one thing. The riddling wizard is coming to call.
Indeed I am, Scythe. Cryl Tabitang, a pleasure to meet you, my young man, even in such distressing circumstances.
He has a fire talent, Cryl. You knew?
Why else would I send you to seek him? Why indeed would the enemy send Mephtik to destroy his village, unless he sensed a new power about to emerge?
We'll never know if the blade wound kills him in 4 weeks.
Still, Cryl can soon sort that out now he's here.
In that you are mistaken, Archer. I cannot deal with the wound.
What do you mean you can't deal with it? We promised Jarral that you'd cure him.
I am here in my astral being, as you should have noticed. I would have to be here in my physical body to wield the true magic against the blade. And even then, the blade was tainted by a mighty demonic magic. I might prove unable to overcome it.
You can try when we get Jarral to you.
That is the difficulty. I have recently moved my residence. The enemy located my previous hiding place and nearly captured me. Where I now live is more than 4 weeks' journey from here.
Even if we ride without pause?
I'm afraid so.
Can you come to us in person, then?
I dare not. Beyond the magical screens of my dwelling, the demon driver would certainly sense the presence of my actual self. His search for me grows ever more powerful and determined.
Then you can't help me. I'm going to die.
I have not said that, my young friend. But the fact is that I must remain safely hidden away for some time.
Can you not use your magic to bring us, or Jarral alone, to where you are?
If I cast a spell to do that, it would make the clearest possible path for the enemy to follow. I am running a grave risk as it is.
Every possibility we're coming up with, you're knocking down, Cryl.
You may not realize it, but in the last year, the demon driver and all his forces have been hugely intensifying their efforts against me and my dwindling band of talents.
Dwindling? How do you mean dwindling?
Deaths. Talent after talent has been located by the enemy's evil gaze, and now there are no more.
That can't be right. How many left, Cryl?
I said it, and I meant it. If you 3 had not saved Jarral, there would be just 3.
Just us?
Correct.
Then our way is clear. If the evil one is making a final all-out move against us, there's no point in hiding. Let's strike a blow while we can.
What blow?
Cryl knows. It's what he's been leading up to. Getting us to go after Mephtik and his filthy blade.
It is true. Jarral's wound would indeed be instantly healed if the tainted blade was destroyed, along with the one who wields it.
And what happens after that?
The future is veiled and shadowed for mortal eyes, so very hard to read these days. But There have been signs, in wind and flame and the shape of bones. A time of great portent is approaching, and the enemy knows it too, which is the reason he struck so fiercely against me and the talents in my command. And somehow the centre of the portent is linked with Mephtik and the tainted blade.
Oh, but we would need an army to get to Mephtik.
A few can get farther by stealth than an army can, especially if they muster some very useful skills among them, as we four do.
You will be helping us, won't you?
When I can. But I doubt if this array of talents will need much help from me, at least at the beginning.
You must understand, Jarral. Cryl can never run foolish risks. Others will come along after us. But if Cryl is taken, there may never be another wizard willing and able to take up the struggle.
Do you really think we have a chance?
What does it matter? I never expected to reach old age in any case.
If we fight, of course, we might just manage to kill Mephtik and heal Jarral's wound.
And that would please me, because I hate the poisoner, and I've begun to like the lad.
So say we all.
Then you should know that Mephtik is even now leaving Wellwood on his way back to the capital city, Shigante. To accomplish your task, you will have to penetrate the very heart of his stronghold there.
At least that's the last place the enemy will look for us.
And now I leave you, but I will watch over you and help in any way I can.
My mind was filled with blank despair. The wizard couldn't help me, and he had been my one hope. I was going to die.
Jarral.
And every minute that passed, I was going to be thinking of that horrible death that awaited me. Every night I saw the moon get fuller.
Jarral.
I looked up and saw that Archer, Scythe, and Mandro were looking at me strangely. It was Mandro who had called, a look of real sadness on her face. I realized there were tears on my cheeks. Without knowing it, I'd been silently crying.
Yes?
Look at my eyes.
Why?
Nothing.
Let's mount up and be on our way.
Climb up on the back of my horse, Jarral.
Right. Strange. I was thinking about something, and now it's totally gone.
Don't worry about it. When it's time to remember, you'll remember.
What did you do?
I closed a little doorway in his mind, just enough to hide the bad memories from him. He will forget the curse he's under for the time being.
Will you be able to keep it closed?
It will be tiring. Still, I can but try.
What lands have we reached, Scythe?
Called Blackgrass Moor. There's an inn on the trail we should reach by nightfall.
If we get that far. Look ahead.
I see. Hundreds of men in green, spread out and searching. Soldiers of Mephtik. That's quite a party.
Yes. Now it grows more difficult. The poisoner's search for us has begun in earnest.
Must have found the bodies of his soldiers.
Mephtik knows what happened in the Wellwood?
Looks that way.
Won't he be annoyed at the death of his pet spider?
Enough to stop at nothing to find us. We'll be dodging soldiers from now on, and we're only about halfway to the city, with time passing.
Can we have something to eat now we're stopped?
Oh, you're a child of its worries, and its mind turns always to food.
I'm starving.
Let us eat here, then. Down you get, Jarral. Okay. What can I interest you in?
What is it, Archer?
Quiet. Just listen.
Attack. In the night. Fangs beneath the soldier's hood. Be still. Be still.
What's going on, Scythe? Looks as if she's in pain.
Archer has a secondary talent. She gets glimpses of future events, mostly vague and half-formed, but I've never known them to be wrong.
Are you okay now, Archer?
I'm fine, Jarral. A vision, that's all. The trouble is they're always so confusing. Rarely enough details to know where or when the events will happen.
Or what it seems. You talked about fangs beneath a soldier's hood. What does that mean?
I don't know.
We'll find out in time, that's for sure.
Let's hope you're right.
I'm often right. For instance, I'm right when I say it'll rain tonight. So we can stay here and be wet and miserable, or we can seek shelter in the inn I mentioned. It's comfortable and famed for its food and drink and warmth of its welcome.
Would it be safe for us?
As safe as staying out here. Maybe safer. For the place is owned by a warm-hearted lady who I know very well, and who is very fond of me.
What about the soldiers ahead?
We'll circle round them.
Carver!
Jarral.
Oh!
Here, meet my friends, Archer, Mandra, and the sleepy-looking one, Jarral.
Hello. Oh, how do you do?
You have room for weary travellers?
For you and your companions, Carver, always.
Good woman. I knew you could be depended on.
And I knew this was to be my lucky month. And now you've returned to make it so, on top of all the extra business.
Will there be any food as well?
On the way, my little chuck. There's a stew bubbling away on the stove. Go sit yourselves down by the fire and I'll bring it over.
Lovely. The place is warm and friendly enough, but is she to be trusted, Scythe?
Jarral? With your life. Provided she's not cross, that is. And when she's crossed, the good Lord save you.
Here we are. This'll drive the cold of the moor away. You get weaving, young Jarral. The rest can start when they're served.
Thank you, Mum.
Now you next, Carver. Men first.
You spoke earlier of extra business, my sweet. Have you grown rich since I saw you last?
Would you still stay if I had? It has been strange indeed, though most welcome. Troop after troop of them hither and yon on the roads, almost drinking me dry.
Who, Jarral?
Soldiers, dear. Troops of them in those ugly green uniforms of theirs. Searching for some fugitives, they say. So, why are you staring at me? Is it you? Carver, are they searching for you?
Us? Jarral, my lovely. What soldiers want with us?
So what are you doing, crossing the moor?
I'm travelling in company with my good friend Archer here, who is serving as warrior escort to these two young people on their way to the northern region.
That's right. Too dangerous for a young lady, alone except for a boy.
Oh, I'm glad, because it would have been terrible. 6 soldiers passed earlier and said they'd come back for a drink after dark. Well, speak of the devil. Here they are now, by the sounds of it.
No, Archer. Put down your bow. Leave it to me. Just close my eyes and... Don't much like the look of this pig pen.
Don't much like the look of this pig pen.
Let's move on. Find a better place.
Let's move on. Find a better place.
Pig pen? Did you hear the impertinence of it? Pig pen, indeed. Place is as clean as a palace. How could they say such a thing, Carver?
Forget it. Who knows how a soldier's mind works, Jarral?
It was almost as if they didn't see the room. As if they were as blind as... Well, you know what I mean, Carver.
Of course. As blind as me.
The cheek of those people.
Well done, Mandra.
Indeed. That is quite a talent.
The young man is heading fast for sleep. We'll get Jarral to sort the rooms out.
About ready myself.
We'll sleep in our clothes. We might have to move swiftly with soldiers around.
Especially if they have fangs, as in Archer's vision.
What Scythe said was true. I was nearly falling asleep into my empty bowl. It had been an incredible day. All too much to take in, really. Jarral showed Archer and Mandra to a room with neat twin beds, and then Scythe and I were shown into the room next door. Soon I was having a nightmare. I dreamt I had heard a horrible hissing sound. I'd opened my eyes, and there, swaying at the end of the bed, was a giant serpent. I could clearly see its scaly, muscular length undulating in the moonlight, eyes gleaming, its forked tongue flicking in and out of its mouth, and around its triangular head the flesh had expanded outwards and upwards into a terrible, threatening hood. It was swaying from side to side, all ready to strike me. And then, to my horror, I realized it wasn't a nightmare. I was wide awake. It was real. A giant serpent was about to strike me dead. And then it struck.
you monster! It's all right. It's dead. The body goes on twitching, but with its head chopped off, there's no danger.
It was going to strike me, Scythe.
But it didn't. Now, come on, move it. We've got to get out of here. Soldiers! Heading for the stairs. Sold us by the gods. She's only gone and sold us. Come quietly. Don't fire, Archer.
Soldiers?
Maybe a dozen or more. Mephtik's found us. One of his hooded serpents was on Jarral's bed.
So that was the vision. Fangs beneath the hood. But how did he find us here?
We were betrayed.
Not here, Sarge. Check the woman's room.
Archer, brace the door.
Yeah. Got it.
Mandra, Jarral, gather our things while I get the window open.
Nice, lads. Come on.
All clear outside. No! A ball of yellow jackets heading for the open window.
Get the window closed again, Scythe. They're killers.
Too late!
They're staying in the door waiting for a command. The three of you get out of here.
Go, Mandra! I'm behind you. Come on, Jarral. Jump, Mandra!
Get out, Jarral, get out! One sting on a yellow jacket and you're dead! The door's giving, I can't hold them anymore!
As the door broke, Archer leapt to grab my arm and drag me to the open window. But as I felt her touch, time ceased to be. My mind started to burn as I looked at the ball of winged death now frozen in flight. Scores of giant insects in a compact ball, each nearly as big as a bird, their stings like long poisonous needles, and one sting meaning instant death. Then I saw the hate-filled faces of the half-dozen soldiers frozen at the broken doorway. Once again I knew I surely faced death. If not the insects, the soldiers' crossbows. If I jumped, the insects and soldiers would only follow, and even Archer and Scythe were no match for so many. There was no escape, no escape. My mind burned at the thought. Warmth above my eyes swelled rapidly to a raging heat, and flame driven by the terror sprang from the floor in front of me, around me, behind me, yellow and strong. Instantly I was surrounded with flame, the room a blazing inferno. Archer had no choice but to jump from the window to escape the intensity of the heat. The insects went mad, broke from the ball and started flying wildly round the room looking for a handy target, while soldiers prepared to fire their crossbows, and through it all I heard myself screaming,
Save me! Somebody save me!
In Part 2 of The Blade of the Poisoner by Douglas Hill, adapted by Wally K. Daly, you heard Eric Allen, James Holland, Elizabeth Bell, Ben Onwukwe, Susan Sheridan, James Thomason, Hugh Dixon, Oriel Smith, Nigel Carrington, Charles Millam, and Neil Roberts. Special effects were by Dick Mills and music by Peter Howell of the Radiophonic Workshop. The director was Peter Fozzard.
The Blade of the Poisoner by Douglas Hill, dramatised by Wally K. Daly, Part 3.
Save me! Save me! Somebody save me!
I realized through my screams that the giant yellow jackets, mad with fear of the fire that surrounded me, were attacking the soldiers, not me. But how to get out of the flame and escape? Then, even as I thought it, I was suddenly being lifted up into the air and floated toward and then through the open window. I'd looked down into the courtyard below and saw Archer standing there with her eyes tight closed. I remembered her saying she couldn't lift anything heavy, and wondered how she was managing to lift me. And then I saw her fall to the ground as her strength failed her, and I was suddenly released, and falling too.
Oh, you okay?
Yes, I think so.
Up you get. Off we go then. Hold. It's all right. Scythe and Mandra.
Goodly blaze you've got going there, Jarral. Inn should burn to the ground quite nicely.
And your friend Jarral loses her livelihood.
She deserves worse.
I wonder how much she was paid to betray us.
Forget the woman. What's more important is how did the soldiers she told get word to the poisoner so swiftly? And how did he get his creatures to us just as fast? There is a smell of dark magic about this.
Mephtik is no sorcerer.
His master, the demon driver, is.
There's your answer, then. But does it matter? We must still continue with the task, unless you've changed your mind.
No, not when we have a secret weapon. Our young friend can make quite a lethal blaze, can't he?
A valuable talent for us indeed. All of Mephtik's creatures fear fire.
Mount up and let's be away. The flames will attract others.
I still don't know if it is a talent. I can't make it happen when I want to. It only happens when I'm scared to death.
Lucky for us that courage isn't one of your strong points, then.
No matter, lad. You'll come to control it in time.
It may be that even without Cryl, we could help Jarral to gain some control over his fire talent.
If we can do that, we'll take Meftik's city by storm.
Why are you squinting like that, Jarral? You look as though you've got a bad stomach problem.
I'm just trying to see if I can make fire, that's all.
Don't trouble yourself so, Jarral. We'll work with you tonight when we make camp. Perhaps you could light our fire for us.
Be quicker rubbing 2 dry sticks together.
Oh, boy! Hold!
What is it?
Listen.
Look! There it is above. It's a giant bird with an enormous beak and long, long legs. It's huge. I've never seen a bird with such a massive wingspan.
Have no fear, Jarral. We've met this messenger before.
Hello, Jarral. As these others know well, I am Jarral.
This is Cryl's familiar, his spirit friend and ally.
What are you doing so far from home, Jarral?
Cryl has sent me.
Why didn't he come himself, as he did last time?
He dare no longer stir from his hiding place at this moment, not even in astral form.
Something has happened?
Something indeed has happened. The demon driver is pouring ever more of his powers into discovering Cryl's whereabouts. Our veils of secrecy are hard-pressed to keep his searching magic at bay.
Will they hold?
We believe so, for we still have some strength in reserve. But it is you four who are in the gravest danger, and Cryl has sent me to warn you so.
Even more danger.
The demon driver has become aware that you may be the last 4 living humans with talents, so he has given Prince Mephtik further assistance to seek and destroy you.
What assistance?
He has sent Mephtik a new aid and ally. In this sphere he takes the name Flamerok. He is indeed an evil spirit from the first realm of the further darkness.
A high demon?
A most fearsome one. One of the primary beings from whom the enemy draws his power.
I have never seen a demon, Jarral. I'd hoped to live all my life without doing so.
You may still. Your first sight of Flamerok may be your last moment of life.
But can't Cryl help?
He and I will seek to do so whenever we can elude the enemy's search, but that grows ever more difficult and dangerous. For that reason, I dare not linger here. Farewell, and good fortune.
So that's how Mephtik found us so swiftly at the inn. A new pet demon called Flamerok.
Would explain it.
What do you think, Scythe? Do we go on to the city?
Well...
What is there to think about? We have to go on.
That is great courage for one so young.
Not really. I'm terrified, yes, but nothing has changed. If Mephtik and the enemy are hunting us, what does it matter where we go? So we might as well try to go on to his headquarters as we'd intended.
You're right, of course. Especially now Mephtik has a high demon helping him. All we can do is keep going as far as we can.
I say the same, but I don't see much hope for us.
And as you told Jarral, take one day at a time. Who knows what might come along?
At least we might get some help from Cryl and Jarral against a demon.
Let's hope so.
We must be on our way.
But why can't Mandra just hide us from the soldiers all the time?
You don't understand anything, Jarral. Using a talent is tiring. If I did what you say, I'd be exhausted in no time. Especially when a bit of my talent is working all the time to keep
Mandra?
you...
To keep me from what?
Oh, nothing.
We'll need Mandra's talent at full strength to disguise us when we reach the city of Shiganti, Jarral.
I see. Sorry, just a thought. Anyway, at least we'll soon have the darkness to hide us now.
Only from human searchers.
Let's make camp.
Jarral, if I'm going to go into your head and find your talent and try to help it grow, you're going to have to concentrate. Oh, no, it's useless. I give up.
Any luck?
Oh, I can't do anything. This one's just too young.
I do have a name, you know.
To be honest, I'm not sure if it really is a talent. Not if it only shows when he's frightened. Maybe he just has a talent for cowardice.
Stop it! I don't care who you are! Stop it and leave me alone! I'm not a coward, and I'm sick of you treating me like a fool. I don't even know what I'm doing here, so why don't you just leave me alone?
My brow suddenly felt as if it was on fire, as if clamped by a band of red-hot metal. I had to get rid of the pressure of the heat. I turned and saw the twigs and sticks that Scythe had thrown on the ground, and I let the pressure go. And they burst into flames.
Hey, why? Think what we'll save in flint and steel.
Mandra.
Oh, I'm sorry, Jarral. Sometimes my mouth says things I don't really mean before I can stop it. I'm sorry.
It is the effect of strain and fear. I become gloomy, Scythe grows even more cold and withdrawn, Mandra's tongue gets sharper, and Jarral sets things afire. Indeed, now we see his talent bursts out when he's angered as well as afraid, we should not rouse his temper. We might get a roasting. Now that is what I call a lot of soldiers down there.
Can we ride round them?
Maybe, but not to the north. That's no direction to approach the city from.
Why?
The poisoner has a special playground on the north side of the city, full of more of his monsters. He sends prisoners into it sometimes for amusement, and none of them has ever come out to tell about it. Mephtik calls it his garden of torment.
Then what do you suggest?
If the soldiers get bored or lazy later on, we might slip through, with the help of your talent. What is it, Archer?
A strange large bird very high. Looks like a vulture, but I've never known vultures in this area. I've never known them to fly that high.
No matter. It won't be Mephtik's. There are no poisonous birds, so they don't interest him.
Look, there, Scythe. In front of the evergreens. Do you see?
I see them. So, Mephtik releases the spiders once more. All 6 black widows on the crawl. Waste of an arrow.
No, I've thought about it. At first in the Wellwood, that widow could evade my arrow because it was at long range, but later, Scythe, you and I could kill it because it was so close.
So?
So, I will use my talent in a different way.
This was the 3rd time I'd seen the giant spiders, and still they made my hair and back crawl. I remember the night that one had dropped from the tree and crushed my horse's neck with one squeeze of its jaws, and then nearly managed to get me. Now I watched Archer's arrow flying hopefully. If she could kill another, I would be pleased. But the arrow appeared to be off course by meters. The nearest spider obviously knew it and ignored it. He shouldn't have been so careless. At the last few seconds before it landed, Archer closed her eyes and her face looked strained, and the arrow changed course and speared the screaming spider.
Clever Archer. Deflect the arrow with your mind at the last instant so the widow hasn't time to jump aside. You might get more of them that way.
They're not foolish. The others have run out of range now. But they may forget later.
Down!
It was the vulture Archer had spotted earlier. Its talons were heading for her back when Scythe pushed her down. It missed by a fraction and flew upwards again. In a flash, Archer had an arrow in her bow and fired it off, at the same moment that Scythe threw one of his knives. The arrow struck it firm in the chest, and the knife bedded in its scrawny throat. The bird screamed, but it was a scream of triumph. The knife and arrow simply melted on contact and then vanished in a puff of smoke.
It's a demon!
And the creature was wheeling, preparing to attack once more.
We'll stand and fight, shall we? Even though we must die.
But of course.
With my dagger, I too will do what little I can.
But it's so unfair. It's so unfair.
Wait! Another bird appears in the sky.
It's Urold!
I watched the fight between the enormous bird spirit called Urold and the vulture, and in seconds we realized that Urold was no match for the other creature. He was going to die.
Can't we help him somehow?
There is no way. Perhaps Cryl will come.
It'll be too late.
The vulture's going to strike him down. No! You can't! You! Vulture! Yes, you! I'm pointing at you! You can't do this thing!
You set his chest on fire!
It's disappeared!
And here comes a very tired Jarral, probably to give him thanks.
So, Jarral, it is true as Cryl guessed.
What is?
There is no time. You must flee with all the swiftness you can muster as far from here as you can. With the defeat of the demon vulture, it is likely that Flamerok himself will come. I could not oppose him alone.
Then that thing wasn't Flamerok?
No, a minor low-level demon.
Low-level?
You must not delay. You must ride now. Ride!
Where can we go?
Only one way now. Where maybe even Flamerok won't think to look for us. North, toward the Garden of Torment. Let us go.
You said it was dangerous.
It's lethal. Every creature in it, large or small, guarantees death with just one sting or bite. But we have no choice. So let's ride! There it is.
Beyond the river?
Yes.
It looks so bleak. Patches of dead grass, thorny brush, a few scabby trees.
With a name like Garden of Torment, what else would you expect?
What's the route?
The land slopes down for a while, and then up again until it reaches the north wall of Gigante City.
How do you know all this?
I rode around the garden once, just to have a look. The river circles most of it, and the city wall blocks off the rest. To keep what's in it, in.
And to keep us out, it seems.
No, there is a way across the river to Shallow Point. Well-worn stepping stones.
You mean we're going in?
Somewhere, there's a high demon called Flamerok looking for us. If we bypass the garden and look for another way into the city, we might ride right into him. But he won't think to find us in there. It's our safest way.
Safest?
And quickest. We don't have many days left before the moon is full.
Why is the full moon?
What's in this garden anyway?
Poison. Just about every kind of poisonous plant and animal. And some of Mephtik's special creations. Mutant monsters. But nothing with wings. Nothing that might fly over the wall and attack Mephtik's city.
Oh, that's a comfort.
It doesn't make sense, Scythe. You said that nobody ever came out of the garden alive.
None of Mephtik's prisoners, Jarral. But we're going in fully armed, with talents as well as weapons.
But what for? Why do you want to get into the city? And what's the full moon got to do with it?
Ah!
What is that thing?
A good example of one of Mephtik's homemade monsters. An insect called a diggertail that's normally found in the northern deserts.
Insect? It was taller than my horse.
A bit oversized, yes.
Sorry about the scream. Startled me.
To be expected.
We'll have to leave the horses here.
No horses?
Scythe's right. No place for animals. They wouldn't stand a chance.
Will they be safe here?
Hob will look after Pearl, and the other two. He'll keep them out of sight in the brushwood and stay nearby, waiting for me.
How long will he wait?
As long as he thinks I'm alive. Don't go worrying about Pearl, Mandra. She'll be okay.
Right. Bye, Pearl.
Off you go, Hob. Take them into hiding.
What now?
Down to the river, then I'll show you the crossing point.
You think the stepping stones will take my weight?
Should do. They were here before Mephtik made the place over into his garden. None of the creatures can cross this way. Most of them being dry land beasts that don't like water. And the rest of them would keep away from this river for their own good.
I saw what he meant. The river was teeming with evil-looking creatures. The fish and plant life bristled with spikes that I guessed rightly were venomous. Dozens of creatures that were just bulging, bloated jelly sacks floated along, trailing long, stinging tentacles behind them. There were giant eels with fangs, and as soon as we stood on the first stepping stone, they were climbing onto the stones trying to get to us. The river was not a pretty sight.
I'll lead the way. Ready?
Yes.
Yes.
You'll watch our backs, Archer.
But of course, I'll bring up the rear.
Oh,
okay.
Yes, thanks.
Scythe was flicking the fanged eels off the stones with his staff. Archer behind was keeping a firm eye both on the skyline and on me. I was okay, in fact. I'd often played river games in Wellwood. Wellwood. That's where I lived. Where I used to live. Again the thought came, why was I here? But soon we were safely on the other side, and I had other things to think about.
Oh, so far so good.
We'll go in single file. As well to draw your knife and have it ready, Mandra.
Fine.
I wish I had a weapon.
A firebrand always has a weapon, Jarral.
But if it makes you feel better, you can carry this.
Thanks, Scythe. That's great. I suppose you're going to say something.
No, I was just thinking of the thrill I felt the first time I had...
Well hit, Scythe.
Behind you, 2 lizards.
This bow makes a good club.
Be aware. Death is everywhere in here. That snake I killed is only one of many, and those lizards are lethal. Their teeth are razor sharp and their saliva poison.
Couldn't Mandra use her talent to hide us from these horrors?
Too tiring. At her age, trying to reach all these creatures with her mind, she'd be drained and exhausted within minutes.
Then even then she could not hide us from the plants, and they're just as lethal. Another lizard heading this way, Jarral.
Oh no, it's bigger than a dog.
It stopped.
Look at the grass, Scythe.
Where?
Where the lizard's trapped. It's being held by something.
See the weeds growing among the grass. Their tendrils wrap around anything that moves in their range. The thorns you can see are poisonous, and the weeds themselves are carnivorous. They eat the victims of their poison.
Oh, good. Let all the things in the garden kill each other off.
There'll always be plenty left for us.
Let's move on. We must all concentrate and strike quick, or our lives are in peril.
I was full of fear. There was an icy hollowness growing in the pit of my stomach. I thought if only I was as brave as Mandra, who walked onward purposefully in front of me, cutting at the various horrors that leapt to attack her. And as I thought it, she tripped over a stone. I ran to help her rise and protect her if attacked.
Oh, thank you.
All right.
I'm so frightened I can't walk properly.
You're frightened?
Well, you bet. I'm terrified.
You would be a fool if you were not, Mandra. I feel the same.
That's great. You're terrified as well. I thought it was just me.
Oh, thanks, Jarral. That's just what I need to know at the moment.
It was like the sun coming up. I wasn't alone in my fear. I saw the patina of sweat on Archer's brow and knew she felt fear. I could see Scythe's clenched jaw and the whiteness of his knuckles where they clutched his sword just the way I clutched mine. And I realized he too felt fear. I wasn't alone.
Hold it!
Now, doesn't that look inviting? A white sandy path curving away to a pretty carved wooden bridge over a ravine. Looks nice.
It's probably supposed to. We may not like where it leads.
No, we would not. Let me show you what I see on the bridge.
A trapdoor!
Exactly. Anyone setting foot on the bridge would swing it open, and down they'd go.
Well, that appears to be the only way across the ravine. So let's go and see what would have been the surprise waiting underneath.
No!
Yes, Mandra. Every size and shape of snake known to man. 1,000 upon 1,000 of them, all breeding happily, waiting for their next feast day to come along.
Look, there's human bones and skulls among them.
Others have not been so careful.
I fought against being sick, for bile had come into my throat as I looked into the pit, and saw hundreds of the same snake that had visited me in the hotel. How lucky I had been then. But would my luck hold out? We travelled on for hours, fighting all the way, and never the same threat twice. There were pods that burst, releasing gas, bushes that tried to grab us, spiders the size of plates that shot themselves at us with the speed of arrows. But every threat that came, Archer and Scythe were equal to, until, after a surprising lull when we travelled without threat for minutes, a threat came too great for even them to handle. This creature was truly monstrous, taller than Archer, with the claws of a crab and the tail of a scorpion. It dashed past at speed, pushing Mandra and me to one side, heading for Archer's back. She blocked a blow from one of its claws with her bow, but the second claw caught her a crushing blow on her head, and she was down poleaxed. It lifted one pincer claw high, then brought it down to clutch her neck and crush her throat. Scythe leapt in, his sword cut at the claw, gashing it and fencing it away. The monster was hurt, gave a roar, then swung round furiously to pierce Scythe with its steel-hard sting. But again he fenced it off.
Again and again the monster tried to get him, but each time Scythe blocked and parried the blow from the sting, while Mandra and I just stood watching, terrified.
Come on, monster. What are you waiting for? Do you give up?
Behind you, Scythe! Another of them!
I could hardly believe what I was witnessing. The two creatures were trying to get at him with their stings, and he stood between them both, his sword a blurring, cutting weapon of destruction as he caught the armor of each in turn. And then, the moment presenting itself, he leapt at one, ducking beneath a flailing claw, and stuck his sword deep into its eye. But the other had raced to get Archer, still unconscious on the path. Scythe went to run to her aid, but slipped. I had to do something. There was no fire in my mind. But I did have a sword in my hand.
No!
By sheer luck, I had found its weakness, and my sword slipped between the joining of its armored shell and penetrated deep into its abdomen. It screamed in agony, and my sword broke as it turned away, all ready to strike me with its tail. But Scythe was there, and in no time finished it off.
What happened? You were knocked out. Scythe had to fight off some oversized monsters.
Not just me. We don't just have another talent in Jarral. We have another warrior. I've never seen anyone so scared, but you overcame it and saved Archer's life.
How can I ever thank you?
It's all right. It was nothing.
I'd never known such joy, and soon I was walking the last few hundred yards up a steep slope, to a cliff from where Scythe said we'd be able to see the wall, with happiness in my heart. Suddenly Scythe stopped, and spoke words that chilled me.
Finally, an enemy we can't fight.
What are they? It's like a rippling tide racing up the slope after us.
Insects. Every sort of insect in their millions. Red and black ants, centipedes, wingless yellow jackets, you name them, and there they are. And each one with the power to kill.
Run for the cliff.
We'll never get away from them.
We can try. Run.
It's reached the slope we're on.
Climb to the cliff.
You can do it, Jarral. Scythe, we'll go ahead. Stand by to pull them up.
I'm with you.
Archer and Scythe reached the cliff. Mandra grabbed Scythe's arm and was pulled safely up. I was nearly in reach of Archer's hand when my foot slipped and I slid back towards the insects.
Jarral, here! Grab my hand!
They're within inches. Let's keep going.
Grab my arm!
I can't reach.
I'll come down.
No, Archer.
I jumped on a small rock, pushed upwards, and she had me. The insects were now at the base of the cliff and starting to climb. As I kicked upwards, something amazing happened. The rock I'd kicked fell away, and the whole cliff face followed it, and water gushed in torrents from the gap.
And so, goodbye to marauding insects.
Must be an underground river. When the cliff was weakened as Jarral climbed, it burst free.
I've never been so glad to see water.
Mephtik will be annoyed with you, Jarral. You've turned his garden into a lake. And there you see what we have been searching for.
The wall of the garden. We've done it.
True. All we have to do is find an entrance and get through without being seen. And then we can get our task underway. Time for the talents. Mandra, any sign of life on the other side?
No. No one there at all.
Can you undo the lock, Archer?
Certainly. It was only a set of large bolts.
Now, we have two choices. Kill everyone we meet, or let Mandra make them see something else. I prefer the latter, because it doesn't leave unexplained bodies. But it does put an extra burden on you. Can you do it?
I'll do it.
Not till you've rested. And you won't be rested until you let go of the barrier.
What barrier?
I can't.
I think you may have to, whether you like it or not. Your talent is vital to us here in the city. You have to be at your strongest.
It is true, Mandra. And there may be less risk now if you let go. We have all seen how Jarral has changed, what courage he's found.
What are you talking about? Is there something I don't know?
Tell him.
Some time ago, a terrible thing was done to you, Jarral. It filled you with so much horror that we feared it would crush your mind. Mandra set up a barrier using her talent. And she is still using her talent to keep the barrier in your mind, to stop you remembering certain things.
That's the blank place in your memory that you've been worried about.
What has been done to me? What have I forgotten?
If I tell you while the barrier's still there, you'll instantly forget my words again. The barrier must be removed. Then you'll remember, and it is terrible. But keeping the barrier's weakening Mandra, and without her we have no chance in the city. For Mandra and all our sakes, it has to be removed.
I saw that Mandra was watching me, concern and sympathy in her eyes. Scythe's words were throbbing in my head. For Mandra and for all our sakes, what other choice did I have but to agree?
All right. Remove the barrier.
I'm going to close my eyes, Jarral, and do it. Brace yourself.
I saw it all. The mad face of the poisoner wielding the tainted blade. Heard his words.
Don't you understand, little boy? There is no escape. Now begins your death, which will end finally when next the moon is full. One scratch will do. But for your impertinence, you may have the honor of my signature on your chest. The letter M. And so will begin your journey to your death.
That's what they'd been keeping from me. My imminent death. And now the moon was nearly full. I could once more feel the scar burning my chest, pulsating, reminding me every second that in 2 days I die in agony. And I could not stop myself but scream and scream and scream.
In Part 3 of The Blade of the Poisoner, dramatised by Wally K. Daly from the book by Douglas Hill, you heard Eric Allen as Jarral and James Holland as Jarral the Boy, with Elizabeth Bell as Archer, Ben Onwukwe as Scythe, and Susan Sheridan as Mandra. Urald was played by David Bannerman and Prince Mephtik by Hugh Dixon. Special effects were by Dick Mills and music by Peter Howell of the BBC Radiophonic Workshop. The director was Peter Fossard. The Blade of the Poisoner by Douglas Hill, dramatised by Wally K. Daly, Part 4.
Scythe, we can't do this.
I'll put the barrier back.
Leave him. He will break, or he will not.
When is the moon to be full?
2 nights from now, Jarral.
Then we better get going.
As we walked on from the richer section of the city towards the poorer, my face was blank, but inside all was turmoil. I remembered the wizard Cryl saying that for the wound to heal, both the tainted blade and its wielder, Prince Mephtik, must be destroyed. I knew what I had to do, and as we reached the criss-cross of alleyways that marked out the poor part of the city, I did it. I simply slipped into a side alley when they weren't looking and ran away from them, not knowing that I would be facing death even sooner than if I stayed with them. I didn't know where I was heading, but I knew that my leaving them was their only chance of escaping certain death. By the time evening approached again, I was starving, and no money to buy food. I was walking down an alley when I came across what looked like an inn. I went in hoping to beg some food, but as soon as I opened the door, I knew I had made a bad mistake. I'd never seen such a villainous-looking bunch of cutthroats as I now faced.
Say up, boy. What you want?
Hungry.
And can you buy food, boy? You have money?
No.
Hear that, lads? No money. So, come thieving, have you?
No.
Oh, yes, you have. Well, whining will soon show you what we do to thieves. Push me over, would you? Anyone who does that to whining gets a slapping.
He hit me hard, knocked me over. I fell under the table, and there was a knife there. Just a blunt eating knife. And without thinking, I picked it up as I stood.
So, the thief thinks he's a knife fighter as well, does he?
No, I just...
Right, so let's fight then, boy. Little bit of entertainment for the lads. See my pretty little stiletto? All ready to cut you nicely. Ah!
knife fight with children, would he? In my place? And the rest of you smirking and giggling and sitting there, do nothing to put a stop to it. Get him out of here and toss him in the gutter where he belongs.
I'll get even with you, boy. Nobody crosses whiny and lives to tell the tale.
You, boy, come to the fire and sit. You can eat now, and then I'll find you jobs to do till the price is paid. Fair?
Yes, ma'am.
Good. It's on the way.
It was dark again and raining hard, and she showed me a straw palliasse in the corner and said I could stay the night. When I woke, the grey dawn light was streaming in. I realized this was to be the last day of my life. Tonight, when the full moon came out, I was at the city centre, a place called the Middens, when I heard the cry go up. I ducked into a niche between two buildings to watch. I saw the upper part of his coach was ugly green glass shaped like a sapphire, and through it I saw there were two people inside. One was Mephtik, who I remembered from the forest, and the other...
Flamarok!
He stepped out of the coach and unwound himself. He was so tall, twice as tall as Archer, but thin and skeletal in face and body, all his bones on view. As to his face, I was so frightened. At first, I didn't feel the building sway. And then I was aware that the ground moved and I fell. Flamarok fell back into the carriage, looking frightened, and the groom whipped the horses hard and they raced away. Then, as I stood, I heard the voices close behind me.
Just look what we have here, lads. Right where the whiner said we'd find him.
There were 4 of them. Soldiers dressed in that sickly green uniform of theirs.
First time that rat whelp has ever told the truth.
Yeah, you sure this is him then, so...
Sure, look at the clothes. He's no citizen.
Oh, no, you don't. You just stay still, boy. Don't try running away. Prince Mephtik wants you.
And he's gonna get you.
The soldiers took me straight to Meftik's palace, and soon I was standing in the throne room. It was gigantic. Walls and floors made from massive blocks of green and yellow marble. I looked up. It went so high that the eye could not see the roof. Mephtik and Flamarok sat on a raised gallery and were looking down to me mockingly.
How do you like my little pets, boy?
I looked to where he pointed. There was a wide, deep pit in the shadows in front of me, and I realized it was full of living creatures.
Captain, you say your sergeant and his men found the boy because of a creature called the Whiner?
Yes, Highness. He is a common pickpocket from the Middens. We have him in the chamber nearby, for he believes he will be rewarded.
Rewarded? A Middens thief? He will receive his due. Keep him where he is.
Very good, sir.
You seem an unimportant sort of worm, boy. Yet we've been told you have been travelling with the 3 rebels who have dared to use talents against my troops, and who now, it seems, lurk within my city.
For the first time, Flamarok turned those burning eyes on me, and I felt my legs go weak. It was as though he could read me through to the soul.
He is terrified, or ignorant, or both. Are you sure that he is the one, Flamarok?
There can be no doubt of it.
Then I shall torment him till he tells us where the other 3 are.
Princeling, you are a fool. I have never seen the boy before, yet, unlike you, I recognize him. You cannot kill him slowly. You have already done so. See, there is your initial carved on his chest by the tainted blade.
Oh, so it's him, the whelp from the Wellwood. I'd forgotten. But the moon is full tonight, so I can play with him a while, and then we can be entertained. At moonrise, a death from the tainted blade is always amusing.
Before your playtime, Prince, I would question him. I shall bring him a little nearer.
Flamarok looked at me intently, and suddenly I was floating up to the gallery, crossing the pit and seeing the snapping mouths there. and then I was left suspended in the air, his eyes burning into me as he spoke.
Tell me, what do you know of the earth tremor this morning in the city? You were there somewhere. I sensed the presence of the blade wound.
I know nothing.
Ah, yes, the tremor. It quite upset you, did it not, Demon? Made you all unsteady?
I told you I was merely unbalanced when the horses reared, but it is clear that the boy speaks the truth, as I expected. For the moment it seemed that the impossible had happened. It is of no importance, the boy knows nothing.
Then why did the 3 rebels bother with him?
Doubtless they had some notion of saving him from the blade. Perhaps with the sorcerer's aid.
Saving him? No one can be saved from that deadly witch.
Keep that away from me.
See, boy, how even the mighty demon Flamerok shies from my lethal little blade.
You will presume once too often, fool. One day, despite our master's orders, I will turn you inside out and carve my name upon your very guts.
Indeed, Lord Flamerok, it was a harmless jest, that's all. I meant no disrespect, I assure you.
As Mephtik spoke, I was lowered to the floor once more, relieved not to have been dropped into the pit. Now I'd seen what sort of creatures were in there.
Play your foolish games, princeling. I will be better employed spurring on your underlings as they scour the city for the 3 rebels. The sooner they are in my grasp, the happier I shall be.
So, the brave demon having left, it is just you and I. Now, boy, let's see what extent of anguish can be achieved before moonrise and your death.
What is that?
That?
That gigantic, ugly building ahead.
That is our goal, Mandra. The Tower of the Poisoner.
You there! Stand where you are!
4 soldiers either side.
There must be about 40 of them. They're all going to join in the search. Oh, I think I'm too tired to handle this.
Then Archer and I will whittle down their numbers a little. Ready, Archer?
But of course.
Wait! Look at their eyes.
They're not seeing us. They're going past us.
That wasn't me doing that.
Then chances are we have a visitor.
Correct. It was, as you surmise, my doing.
What do you hope to do here, Cryl?
I have every faith in your abilities, but it has begun to seem you might be a little overstretched against a high demon. So, I have decided to come and save you. I confess that the 4 of you, the last living talents, apart from myself, are rather important to me.
But you could be taken.
You saw him standing on the bush, Archer. We're talking to an astral being like before. Urald would be here too if this was Cryl in his true body.
I should have known.
Let us be on our way.
If you aren't in your real body, you can't use the true magic?
True, but I can still use my talents. The truth is, I am here because I'm aware how exhausted you've become, Mandra, my dear.
Oh, thank you.
You have done wonders for one so young. But now I shall provide. I shall get us into the tower and reinforce all your efforts to do what must be done when we're in there.
I thought you might join us, especially if we got the blade.
I have perceived in the elements and the ether that we're approaching a crucial moment. It is the time we must take every risk, for if we win, the gains will be immeasurable.
And if we lose?
I dare not even contemplate it. But come, Flamerok is not here at the moment. He searches for you in the Middens, following false trails Urald and I laid earlier. On the other hand, young Jarral is with Mephtik, and since the afternoon is rapidly waning, I suggest we all make haste.
So, how do you like my little plaything? The pillar comes up out of the pit, just wide enough for you to squat on. And now, with this little
toggle in the arm of my chair, I can sway it from side to side. Or slide it higher and lower. And even plunge it into the pit completely. No, don't worry. I was only teasing. And now I shall swing the pillar a little faster, and you will indeed soon fall off into the pit and save me the trouble of lowering it.
Jarral!
Who intrudes? Soldiers, hold the...
I have held him. He will speak no more for the moment. I'm so sorry I could not stop the boy from falling.
That was not Jarral. What? I see him. He's just there. In the darkness below the terrace where the poisoner stands frozen.
He's in a semi-trance. There is a demon grip on him. Flamerok has left great power behind him in his absence. Still, I can float him to us.
Jarral. Jarral, can you hear me?
No, he can't.
The wound on his chest is pulsating.
Because his time runs out. Soon the full moon will rise.
Let's pick him up and go.
We must take the blade as well, and there are things here that disturb me. For a moment, Mephtik, you may have the power of speech and tell us things.
It is you, isn't it? The rebel sorcerer. You dare enter my tower?
Why don't we just twist his neck and be off before the demon returns?
A moment more. Mephtik, who was the one who went into the pit?
A small-time thief, the whiner. The boy himself dies at moonrise, wizard, and you cannot save him now, nor save yourselves.
I can. Your demon has departed, poisoner, and no other in this place can stand against me.
It's the vulture demon, Cryl.
You're old! I am here, master!
Cryl, you fool! If Jarral answers your call, that can only mean one thing. You're really here in person, aren't you? Only pretending to be in your astral form.
True. I did not want to worry you with it. I could not invoke magic unless I was here in person.
But Flamerok!
Jarral has been keeping him busy with false trails until now.
Can't you help him, Cryl?
The vulture's beak caught his chest. Crimson. He bleeds, Cryl. I think he's badly injured.
There is nothing I can do. Fight back, Jarral. Fight back.
For you, master! One last blow! I strike! Yes! He's pierced him through the heart with his beak.
They're both twirling down. The vulture still lashing even as it dies.
Jarral's pulled free. The vulture is dead.
My good friend, how bad is the news?
The worst. The demon has brought my death, Cryl. No wizardry can heal these wounds.
Your old friend and companion, how can I go on without you?
You must. There are terrors and battles still to come, more potent than any we have faced. One last thing while I still live. Use the true magic with my aid and raise shields around yourselves.
Why?
Do as I ask, and with haste.
There. Now we are encased in a silvery sheen that nothing can enter.
Good. Do not mourn my departure, Cryl. I am simply released from this sphere sooner than expected.
I don't know whether to mourn you or to envy you, my beloved friend.
Cryl, on the terrace. Something is appearing beside Mephtik.
Quiet. It is Flamerok himself.
Weakling of a wizard, your absurd deception has failed. Your familiar is destroyed. You are powerless and in my power. Admit your defeat.
My deception served well enough, demon, and I'm hardly powerless, as you must see from the shield.
Its eyes! They're starting to blaze!
And will shortly squirt fire. Brace yourself for the shock.
The shield won't stand much more of this. And what can mere talents do against a demon?
One thing, they can awake Jarral.
I thought he was in a spell.
Before Jarral died, I broke it. He's now in a light sleep of my devising.
Oh, look at him. Poor Jarral. The scar pulsing even more strongly.
Flamerock's eyes have changed. He's got something new in store.
He's firing balls of red-hot metal.
The shields are beginning to falter. It must be done. I can delay no longer.
What must be done?
I must awaken Jarral's talent to its full adult power.
A mere firebrand against this enemy?
Much more than just a firebrand. What I am about to do is our only hope. It may kill all of us, including Jarral. For I must reach his mind with mine, and I cannot do so through the shields.
You want to drop the shields?
They're going anyway. Do what you can, Cryl, but do it now!
When the moment is right.
Flamerock, I pray you, spare some of them for me. Even just one to play with a little.
Now.
Silence, fool, or I will feed you to your own creatures in the pits.
He's turned back. His eyes. Look at his eyes.
No, too bright. Don't look. It'll burn your eyeballs to cinders.
I can look all right. Do your worst, Flamerock. Scythe's black sockets can take all you can offer and more.
Jarral? From this moment, let your true talent awaken and function in the true splendor of its power.
Cryl, it's you.
Call up your creatures, Jarral. Call them now.
They are coming, Cryl. They are coming.
The throne is starting to shake.
There's a flood of water from the terrace.
The building's falling all around us. Marble blocks falling from above.
Cryl! Where are you? Cryl! Did you see him go, Archer?
No! One moment he was standing there and then he'd gone.
Keep your eye on Jarral and Mandra. I'm going to get Mephtik.
Beware! Flamerock is still up there.
Don't worry, I can see him. He's slumped in a daze. So, Flamerock, it is true what they say. In the face of elementals, even demons quake and grow weak.
But now one comes to take me to safety, human. Just feel the power of its presence. Remember it well, for there will be another time you will feel it soon.
So, there you are. Buried in rubble.
Yes! Mephtik is here, alive! Lightning and fire and earthquake and water, but nothing can kill Mephtik. I am the prince! I have the blade nothing can kill, and now it kills you! I hold my sword high, and now prepare to die!
Well shot, Archer. An arrow through the wrist should keep him quiet a moment or two. And the tainted blade is mine. Get the youngsters out, Archer. I'll follow.
I still can't find Cryl.
Get them out. The whole tower's going to fall by the sound of it.
What of Mephtik?
I'm about to settle it now. So, Mephtik, it is time. I could use this and scratch you and let you die in agony in a few hours' time. But you might just escape. And I want to be sure you're finished. So... Yes. Up in the air above my head you go. Now, see the pit below? By a miracle, many of your creatures escaped with their lives. And now it is time for you to join those reptilian friends of yours and see which of you is the most venomous.
Where is Scythe?
Don't worry, he'll get out.
The whole building is starting to fall.
Cryl?
Still no sign. The tainted blade?
I have it safe in my scabbard. We'll go to the hill above the city to decide what next.
Earthquake, thunderstorm, wind, fire, and flood? Elementals! Who could have believed how powerful they are?
I could feel them in the palace. Huge, shapeless, invisible, but oh, so powerful. Enough to strike Flamerok down like a reed.
But not for long. Something picked him up. A stream of evil power. It just had to be the demon driver. Won't you have something to think about at this moment?
No wonder Cryl risked all for such a talent.
And we thought you were only a firebrand, Jarral.
The full moon is going to rise in a little while, and whatever talent I have, it is not going to keep me alive. Look at me!
Oh.
No! The scar has turned green, and now it's started to glow as well as pulsing.
We can't destroy the blade without Cryl. You told me that. So I'm going to die at moonrise. There's no elemental that can keep that from happening.
Don't give up hope, Jarral.
That's right. We don't know what happened to Cryl. He might still come to us in time.
If he's safe, why isn't he here now?
The blade too pulses and turns green.
It must be destroyed.
Jarral speaks true.
We could try.
Oh, yes, surely we could.
Look! On the brow of the hill.
A glow. A bright glow forming itself into what?
Cryl?
No. Flamerok.
Jarral, do something. Jarral! Jarral!
You will not escape this time by using elementals. I have veiled the boy's mind in darkness. He will not use his talent ever again, for shortly the moon will rise. I will keep you motionless as well, but your minds may remain open, so that you may watch the boy die. Watch how the wound grows, glowing ever greener, spreading like a mold, along his arms, up over his throat, down over his stomach, burning his stomach as it goes. See the smoke that is created, and it leaves his skin cracked and blackened behind it. The surf is crumbling, seared beyond recognition by the fire within, until finally, watch, he slowly crumbles to ash at his own feet, and your friend is now nearly a pile of dust. That death was an illusion for your enlightenment and for my entertainment. The boy's real death in precisely that form will happen in a few minutes. Meanwhile, you may enjoy a little more enlightenment about the fate of that fool of a friend of yours, the wizard Tabatang. When he dropped the shields in the palace to summon the boy's talent, I gathered him up and threw him to my master, the one you call the demon driver. Your wizard now lies in torment in my master's palace, and there he will remain undying and in agony for 100 years. Foolish woman! You think using your talent to throw your knife without lifting a finger can harm me? A mortal weapon cannot harm a demon, only melts on contact with my flesh. But harm will come to you for your disrespect.
Jarral, I couldn't understand why Archer threw her knife. Now I know why. She is telling me I too can use my talent. Oh, I have removed the veil that Flamerok used to cover your mind. Can you hear me, Jarral?
Yes, I hear you.
Do something quickly. Flamerok is aware of what I have done.
A fountain of water between us. We're free of his grip.
I've weakened him, but I can't hold it very long. Look, the glow of the moon is on the hillside. Any second I will die.
Flamerock is still cringing away from the water. What else can be done? Archer, Scythe!
I don't know.
Wait! Look at the way he's standing, covering his face. I've seen him like that before, at the palace. The blade! The demon fears the tainted blade.
Good. Then let us make him a present of it, deep in his heart.
You got him, Scythe! He's starting to glow green.
The blade is melting into him, destroying itself.
And now it's Flamerock himself who is melting.
Jarral! Jarral!
Turn him over quickly, Mandra. The moonlight is now bright enough to see his chest.
It's gone! The mark has gone! He's safe!
Good. I'm glad he lives. A talent for controlling the elementals will come in very handy on our travels.
Travels?
Oh, yes. Come sun-up. Time to go to the other end of the land. Save Cryl from the palace of the demon driver.
But of course, I was forgetting.
Won't Jarral be thrilled when he wakes up? He probably thought it was all over. And now we can tell him...
It's only just beginning!
In Part 4 of The Blade of the Poisoner, dramatised by Wally K. Daly from the book by Douglas Hill, you heard Eric Allen as Jarral and James Holland as Jarral the Boy, with Elizabeth Bell as Archer, Ben Onwukwe as Scythe, and Susan Sheridan as Mandra. Prince Mephtik was played by Hugh Dixon, Cryl by James Thomason, Urald by David Bannerman, and Flamerock by Brett Usher. Richard Pearce was Whiny, Anne Windsor the innkeeper, and Nigel Carrington and Charles Millam soldiers. Special effects were by Dick Mills, and music by Peter Howell of the BBC Radiophonic Workshop. The director was Peter Fozzard.